Straight ahead on 12 News, job growth incentives. How many new jobs could be created in a move to Plymouth by Polaris? Then, the new minimum wage law takes effect. Why there's mixed reaction in the northwest suburbs. But first,
every traffic stop, it can be a vulnerable traffic stop.
A closer look at the dangers that law enforcement face every day. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone. The shooting death of a Mendota Heights police officer continues to reverberate through the community.
Today, a man with a criminal history is charged with first-degree murder. He's accused of shooting and killing Mendota Heights police officer Scott Patrick during a traffic stop. The tragedy is a grim reminder that routine police work can be unpredictable and dangerous.
It's something police officers do every day.
There's risk associated with the job.
But Plymouth Police Chief Mike Goldstein says making a traffic stop can be anything but routine.
It's an unknown risk stop. You're stopping somebody for what in your mind might be a minor violation, but you don't know who you're stopping and what they have just been through and what they're intending on doing.
It's a traffic stop.
It's a lesson taught here at the Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice Education Center in Brooklyn Park.
Well, we always tell them that there is no routine traffic stop. The reason is because for every human being you pull over, they're a different personality.
Director Mylan Masson walked us through what officers learn when they make a traffic stop.
When we approach the car, we always approach it as a dangerous situation.
Running the plates doesn't always raise a red flag that the driver might be dangerous.
A lot of times what will happen is the person that's driving the car is not the listed owner of the vehicle, so we know nothing about them. It might be a grandmother's car.
So the lesson here is to make each move with safety in mind.
I'm going to approach up here. I'm going to talk to him back here, as close to the car as I can, and making sure that I have visual on them, and I'm going to ask to see their hands. Can you put your hands on the steering wheel? Hands are what's going to hurt you.
Masson says she doesn't think the officer killed Wednesday could have done much of anything to change the tragic outcome of the traffic stop. But it's an example of how precarious and everyday part of the job can be.
It's a reminder. You know, we don't like it. We know it's there every day, but this is once again a true reminder.
Funeral services for Officer Scott Patrick will be at St. Stephen's Lutheran Church in West St. Paul on Wednesday.
Plymouth police are reminding residents to shut windows and close garage doors following 2 burglaries early Thursday. The burglaries occurred within blocks of each other, one in the 3900 block of Zanzibar Lane, the other in the 3700 block of Black Oaks Lane. In each case, residents were inside their homes sleeping. In one instance, the burglar found keys and stole a vehicle. Police say it's too early to tell if the burglaries are connected, but in each instance, access was gained through either an open window or garage door in the early morning hours.
Maple Grove police need your help finding a woman involved in a counterfeiting case. Police released 2 photos of this woman walking into a Holiday gas station on 96th Avenue North. She left the scene in a dark-colored 1990s Dodge Durango. If you can't identify the suspect, investigators say you can email tips to police@maplegrovemn.gov, or you can call the number on your screen, 1-800-222-TIPS. A 16-year-old Champlin Park High School student who was killed by a suspected drunken driver will be laid to rest this weekend.
Jason McCarthy died Tuesday from injuries suffered when his car was rear-ended on Highway 252 as he was driving to a friend's house in Minneapolis. Charges are still pending against Michael Van Wagner, the driver of the other vehicle. The State Patrol says he sideswiped one car and about a half-mile later rear-ended McCarthy's car near 73rd Avenue. A funeral service for McCarthy will take place Saturday morning at the Church of St. Gerard in Brooklyn Park at 11 a.m.
Polaris is in the midst of a move to Plymouth, a move that is expected to create 100 new jobs. Today, state officials announced that Polaris will receive $800,000 from a job creation fund if it follows through on its job growth plans. The maker of ATVs and snowmobiles is in the process of opening a second headquarters near Highway 169 and Bass Lake Road. Polaris will house about 400 workers at the Plymouth office building. The company is experiencing record growth with more than $4 billion in sales expected this year. For the first time in almost a decade, Minnesota's minimum wage has gone up.
The increase from the federally mandated $7.25 per hour to $8 an hour in Minnesota. As Eric Nelson found out, reaction to the new wage law is mixed.
I had a hard time sleeping last night. Felt a little bit like Christmas.
Yes, Christmas has come early for some. Raising the minimum wage is like a gift benefiting 114,000 Minnesota workers, including many who struggle to pay the bills.
I think that's just an important first step towards shifting our economy and rebalancing it out so that hard work pays off for people instead of people being forced to depend on the government or depend on charity even while they're working.
This wage increase will benefit many workers here in the Northwest Metro, including those who have jobs in the food industry. Antonio Torrealva is ecstatic about the wage increase. Torrealva works at Benihana in Maple Grove, and the pay raise will help his cash flow.
Yes, so thanks to this law, it's a very great first step, and we're continuing in the fight to be able to earn a living wage.
However, reaction is mixed about the increase. Some business owners claim they will be forced to raise prices or cut back on employees.
I hear a lot of restaurants are talking about cutting back on servers and making more self-serve types of activities in their restaurants to try to compensate for the cost increase that's coming.
People don't lose their jobs as wages go up because that money stays in the community. The people who earn that money spend it in local businesses.
Opponents of the minimum wage believe it will foster more mandated policies in the workplace.
We shouldn't have our government telling us how we're supposed to pay and give benefits to our employees.
I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
This was the first step. Next year, the minimum wage goes up to $9 an hour and jumps to $9.50 in 2016.
The minimum wage hike is one of many new state laws taking effect today. One of them increases speeding fines in work construction zones to $300. There are more than 1,700 crashes each year in Minnesota construction zones. A new state law also cracks down on synthetic drugs. Under the law, any substance that mimics the effect of illegal drugs is itself illegal. Instances of young people using products like K2 and Spice have skyrocketed in recent years. Those products are now banned. Coming up, can a wicked witch learn from her mistakes? We'll find out in Weekend Showcase as we preview the play Into the Woods.
Then later in sports, Champlin Park opens the State American Legion baseball tournament in style.
But first, a mostly sunny weekend in store, though a thunderstorm is possible Sunday evening.
Here's a word of caution. Be careful what you wish for. That's the message in a popular play on an outdoor stage in New Hope.
In our Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley takes a look at the play Into the Woods.
Into the woods you go again. Fairy tales always end happily ever after, right? Well, not always, as you'll see in the Off-Broadway Musical Theater Company's version of Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods.
Because the baker had lost his mother and father in a baking accident, well, at least that's what he believed.
Corey Okonek plays the narrator and leads us through the story.
You've got fairy tale characters, you've got Little Red Riding Hood, you've got Jack and the Beanstalk, you've got a wicked witch, you've got Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, so the little kids will get a kick out of it.
The first act introduces us to each of the characters, what their wishes are, and how they all come together in the woods.
Go to the woods!
Angela Kane plays the Wicked Witch.
There's a baker and the baker's wife, and they're trying to have a child. So the witch sends them into the woods to get the concoctions and parts to a potion that she wants to fulfill her wish.
And the fairy tale happy ending holds true. At first, Crystal native Scott Reagan, who plays Jack, is desperately trying to save his cow.
By the end of the first act, a lot of people have their happy endings, and that's kind of where the fairy tales that we know stop.
Act 2 reveals the consequences of those characters' actions.
At the end of the second act, she realizes that maybe her wish wasn't what she wanted.
But in this play, even witches learn from their mistakes.
She learns her lesson, and she realizes that, and she grows from that.
It's essentially a story about facing the consequences of your actions.
Into the Woods illustrates that while wishes may come true, they do not come free.
Our actions have consequences, and everyone affects everyone else.
For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley.
And you can see Into the Woods this weekend and next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday through August 9th at the Outdoor Theater in New Hope, of course. Shows begin at 8 p.m. and the suggested donation is $4. So, Mike, we have to go and see if Jack actually got to save his cow.
Save his cow. Right?
I'm kind of curious.
It looks
there.
like a really well done play, and it's a neat venue outdoors. Yeah. When we get out, we should get outdoors every chance we can in the summertime.
That's right, and they're always passionate about it there at that theater, for sure. Coming up, the beat goes on with the Brooklyn Park group that's in high demand across the state.
But first in sports, highlights from the opening round of the 3M Championship Golf Tournament. Jay Wilcox will have that and more when we come back. It might be a sign of talented ball clubs, I guess, when the same two teams keep meeting up in important games and it's happening again and they remember, right?
Yeah, and a great result here for the local team, too. Can't ask for a better way to start the tournament. The guys on the Champlin Post 600 American Legion baseball team have long memories. They lost to St. Cloud in the finals of the state VFW tournament 2 years ago. As luck would have it, they were matched up with the St. Cloud Shoots in the opening round of the state American Legion tournament Friday morning. Champlin Park's defense is sharp early. A nice play at third leads to a tag play as the St. Cloud runner thinks it's going through and is an easy out. In the fourth inning, Champlin leading 1-0 when Alex Duane laces one over the third baseman's glove and down the line and left. Kip Youngquist scores, and it's 2-0. Michael Brooks does his part, knocking a single into right field to score Noah Booley, and it's 3-0 after 4 innings. In the fifth, the Rebels add to the lead. Eric Pearson pounds a double into the gap in right center. It scores a pair of runs to make it 5-0. It's 7-0 after 5 innings. Brandon Rushmeyer is solid on the mound, getting out of a couple of jams along the way with key pitches for Champlin Park. And they get plenty of offense. Brooks with a liner in the gamble in center doesn't pay off. It's a 10-0 win for Champlin Park over the St. Cloud Shoots. The Rebels are playing again Friday evening. Most youth baseball is wrapping up for the summer, but a good tournament in Robbinsdale and vicinity kicked off Thursday. The 10th annual Woodbat Charity Tournament benefits baseball in Benin, bringing equipment and fields to the African nation. The new MLB All-Star Field at Lee Park in Robbinsdale, one of the sites. Crystal facing Hopkins, and Crystal's Thomas Warnke singles to center. Scores Ian Barr and Max Lindholm, and Crystal grabs a quick 4-0 lead. Still in the first, Teddy Campion lines a single to score Warnke. Crystal gets 11 runs in the first inning of this 11-12-year-old game. Good effort defensively here, but the bouncer by Charlie McNeil of Hopkins gets away. A run scores. Hopkins is within 12-2. In the fourth, Hopkins making a bid to get back in it as Caleb Hoffman drops a fly ball that falls between everyone. 2-run score, and Hopkins is within 12-6 after 4 innings. But Crystal has another big inning in the fifth. Barr drills a single to right to score Jacob Wynn and Nathan Pertola as their offense cranks up once again. It's 14-6 after that hit. Ben Anderson helps to put it out of reach with a long drive to center. Crystal rolls to a 17-6 win. The tournament continues through Sunday in Robbinsdale and Golden Valley. And in Indianapolis, Indiana today at the Little League Central Regional, Plymouth New Hope wins its opener 4-0 against the champion from Iowa. Plymouth New Hope plays again Saturday afternoon against Joplin, Missouri. Great weather conditions greeted golfers for the first round of the 3M Championship Tournament in Blaine. This is Don Barry of Edinburgh, USA, and Brooklyn Park teeing off in the last group. Barry was 1 over for the front 9 in his round. Scott Hoke uses some nice touch on the downhill chip on a sloping green on the 9th hole. It leaves him a makeable par putt from 4 feet. Hoke slumps late, though, and finishes 1 over. Vijay Singh lines up a birdie putt on number 6, and he'll roll it home. Singh looking solid at 7 under through 16 to grab the lead. Bernard Longer's playing well coming in. He birdies number 7 here and was 6 under through 15 as the first round wraps up. Saturday, Jack Nicklaus makes his first appearance at the Greats of Golf event at the TPC. A couple of young golfers from the area got a chance to see things up close this week at 3M Championship events. 13-year-olds Peyton Hill and Stone Pfeffer of Maple Grove got to be junior reporters, walking inside the ropes with pros during the Pro-Am rounds. They also collected autographs to raise money as part of the First Tee program. It's a program that uses golf to provide educational opportunities and build character in junior golfers. The guys say they had a good time.
We've had a lot of fun. We've been getting hats signed for first tee so that we can sell them at an auction for charity.
It's been a fun experience considering I wasn't the first tee open at Pebble Beach, so I got to see all the players again, and kind of cool just to have fun and interview Bernard Langer, get autographs, go to the range.
A lot of opportunities to see the golfers up close, and those guys got to be really close.
Yeah, very cool for them.
Big names there. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jay.
very much,
You're welcome.
Jay. Well, just like the Energizer Bunny, they keep going and going.
Meet the group of drummers who aren't afraid to tackle a busy schedule. That's when we come back. Two years ago, we reported on the passing of the Brooklyn Park Drum and Bugle Corps director, Bruce Gurley.
Although his death hit the group hard, the Drum Corps and its mission live on.
It kept me out of a lot of trouble.
And that's a major objective of the Brooklyn Park Lions Drum and Bugle Corps. 2 years ago, the Corps experienced a tough setback when their leader, Bruce Gurley, died suddenly. Since then, Bruce's brother Johnny has stepped up and become the shepherd of the group.
It's been real easy keeping going because the kids are dedicated, the kids want this.
The Corps provides constructive activity and purpose.
Before I have joined the group, I was getting into a lot of trouble with the police, a lot of court dates and stuff like that. Now I don't have not one court date. I'm a straight A student. I'm on the A honor roll.
Many of these kids have been practicing together for more than 5 years, and it shows.
We took third place in the Midwest Drill Team competition. So this group is very proud, and we're very proud of this group.
Besides school, like I'm always Drum Corps, I'm always thinking of new stuff to bring to the group, or like what I want to work on next for next year or next competitions.
And this group is in demand, performing at more than a dozen engagements this summer.
Next year, I think we're going to be very busy because we got a lot of parades that say, we need you back next year. So we've been there, we saw what we had, and they said, we want you back.
Leader Johnny Gurley insists the Corps' best is yet to come.
We're on a good path right now. Yes, we're elevating, we're moving up. It's dedication, that's my key. The kids will tell you, I always say it's dedication.
They sound good, and they are busy. They were in every parade that we are in this summer, and then some.
Definitely, and I remember going to some of the first practices they had when Mr. Bruce got that together, and he would be so proud of where they are now.
Absolutely.
They're doing a great job.
That's it. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
Community Corner coming up next.